Caller number one, I know you're getting your call still ready over there, but we're going to ask you for the first situation. And to remind you of what that is, this is the hen wakes up on a limb, she flies down into a field, and she begins feeding. So whenever you're ready, give us your version of that. Caller number one, we'll move on to the second situation, which is a scattered fall flock of juvenile birds that regroup in a field. Remember, you got two jakes that begin fighting for dominance. Judges, y'all can turn around, we're gonna get a few words. One thing I will say about that. Let me just say this to start this contest off. One thing I have guaranteed, I will not give this man the code to my hunt club this turkey season. I know y'all thinking the same, but that sounded good to me. And judges, when y'all get y'all's tabulation, we can turn around and start talking to this caller here. But there were some things you did in that first scenario that just honestly was unbelievable, that wasn't even called for that you did, but sounded so unbelievably real, because it even sounded like you noticed you put a few little kikis in there because you was getting that hen set up. But that hen sounded like she was roosted about 400 yards from the turkey you was imitating. Was that what you was trying to kind of pull off, like it was a whole flock of turkeys?
I'd like to say that, but I can't guarantee it.
Well, it doesn't matter, I guess, what I think, but judges, what did you guys think? I'm not sure where to start, but Mark or Matt? Matt, what do you think?
I say I'm the guinea pig for this new format, but I'll tell you what, Michael, your tree call, I mean, I could see her on the limb, it was beautiful, and the hen yelping part of that first segment, like Michael said, I mean, it was just, it was dead on. They've asked us to critique on a bad way sometimes, and there was no way to critique that scenario at all bad. On the fall flock, the only thing that and I'm a friction man, I love it. The only thing that I would have probably thought didn't match as good as it probably should was running the friction and the mouth call together. I know you're trying to do two turkeys, and I know exactly what you were trying to do. That's just my thoughts. But other than that, I mean, the pleading in your assembly yelp and your jig yelps were spot on. And I know a Pennsylvania boy knows what a jig turkey sounds like. A bunch of fall turkey hunters in our world.
Michael, as Matt said, your tree call, man, that was spitting feathers there. That was some good stuff. Your transition into each one of the calls was great. And like he said, I have nothing bad to say here at all. The plain yelp could have been built just a little bit more, but great job. And the only thing in the fall scenario, the purring with the pot was a little bit, hey, I know how it is on that stage. You're trying to get it done. Break it up just a little bit more, if you will, but great job altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it flowed really good. And the first sequence, I like the way you run your tree eps together, building up to the fly down. I mean, it reminded me of sitting under turkeys in my deer stand and hearing them wake up, and they get a little bit more excited and they fly down. The only thing, if I'm trying to find something wrong, is when you flew down, the fly down run together just a hair. So you like on fly downs, you like to hear that. That's just nitpicking is all that is. I mean, it was great. The other sequence, I liked it, but I'm gonna say the same thing they did. When you did those fighting purrs, it was almost like the friction call overshadowed your mouth purr. It was like when you purred on that, it covered it up, it covered the mouth call up, instead of two turkeys purring back and forth to each other. So if you'd have broke it to where you was purring one and then just going right into the other one like her answering her, it might would have flowed a little better, but that's the only thing I could find wrong with that second sequence.
I think we're only supposed to have two judges critiquing each caller.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that, but we're gonna go ahead and let y'all finish up. That way y'all can all say, but the two from here on out, how about that?
Sounds good.
Making rules as we go, man. Don't get to MC much, might as well do what we want.
We'll do it all day. I guess by the time it gets to me, everything's pretty much been said, bud. I mean, I agree with everything they said. I still like the mouth call and the friction call together for your fighting purrs, but it did kind of the friction overpowered your diaphragm a little bit. The first scenario, your soft stuff at the beginning, money. The cackle lacked a little bit, a pop, like Jason said. But other than that, we're nitpicking stuff, but good job.
Go ahead, Mark.
Same thing they said. I like the first part, absolutely great. The little soft stuff on the limb, the fly down. I really like those plain yelps. I mean, I could see her. It was awesome. Second scenario, love those light keys. I mean, you sounded like two turkeys keying. It sounded like a turkey a little bit farther, and I mean, it set the scene. It was really good. Everything else I thought was real well.
Thank y'all so much, judges. And before we get out of here, tell everybody your name once again, and you can give a quick shout out to anybody you want to, because that's the way they do on the Grammys on sports athletes. So we need to let our turkey calls give a quick shout out.
Well, my name is Mike Longnecker, and I'd like to say hello to my wife, Naomi, and her parents, because they're here. Just excited to be here. It's an honor. Brother, you did one heck of a job, man. Congratulations on making it. Good luck. Good luck. We got them brownie points over here talking about the little lady out there. And from here on out, we will just get comments on two judges. That was my bad, because it would take forever. But these guys, as you notice, these judges are very, very much listening for every single thing, both good and potentially bad. And when you get at this level of calling, it's really hard to find something really bad about it. It's just very small, minute details. Maybe it's a little crack in the call. Maybe it's a rhythm. Maybe it is, as basically, if you heard that, the friction and the mouth call, both was great calls, but maybe they didn't complement each other. But right now, we're going to bring caller number 2 to the stages. The judges are turned around. Keep your attention away from the stage, and we're going to bring caller number 2 to the stage. And caller number 2, take your time to begin, but when you do begin, we ask for our first situation, which is the hen that wakes up on the limb, flies down into a field, and begins feeding. All right, caller number 2. When you're ready, we're going to ask you for our situation 2, which is a scattered fall flock of juvenile birds that regroup in a field. 2 jakes begin fighting for their dominance. All right, that's caller number 2. Judge, you get your tabulation now. What do you think? This old redneck right here, I know he's from Kentucky, and I can tell you, he didn't just start trying to get good on a call to come up here and win a contest. I know he was trying to get good like that so he can make a few more than turkeys right in the back of the truck, as our buddy Eddie Salter would say. But how did you feel overall, Shon? Did you feel pretty good about it?
I felt real good, It's my first finals, and I feel pretty good.
Congratulations on getting there. How does it feel to kind of know you made it to the finals, your first time here on the big stage in the top 14? Do you feel relieved, like a weight's off your back now that you got it done and went through it?
Yes, sir. I got the bowling ball out of my belly.
I hear that, buddy. Well, I know Wade and Matt had to go, went first, so I guess we're going to pick up here with Jason. Jason, we're going to pick up with you. What did you think right there, Shon?
Then again, we're trying to nitpick every little thing, and that's what you got to do at this level. I liked the tree ups, but they were just a little bit heavy. It was like she didn't really wake up. It was like she just woke up. And I would have liked to have heard it build, her wake up a little more. The cackle was good. That was a good cackle. I mean, she come off the limb excited. She's ready to get out of that tree. You know, I really like that. I wanted to hear more though. It was like it was a little bit of pauses during the sequence, and I'd like to have heard it flow better. And I know it's hard to do that scenario in that amount of time, and that's something a turkey may take 30 minutes to do in the woods. But I would like to hear just a little bit more. Besides that, but I really like that cackle. That cackle was really good. The other sequence, when they were regrouping, then again, I'd like to have heard more. There was some pauses in there where there wasn't any turkey sounds going on, and you was kind of waiting to hear, well, is he done or what's going on? That's the only thing I could really find in that sequence. The fight purrs were good. I liked fight purrs. Those little sounds you put in there, that reminded me instantly of 2 turkeys meeting up, you know, ready to get it on. So I really liked that. That's a good job. Good job getting here, buddy. It's tough.
Thank you, Jason. What about you, Shane? What did you think?
The first scenario, I'm gonna agree with Jason. I like to hear a little bit more build up. It wasn't that it was bad or anything, but I would have liked to have heard a little bit more build up. And I think he had a little hiccup right at the beginning of it. Or was I hearing things? And it wasn't bad, it's just, like, we're nitpicking. The break in the yelps, I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Even, like the second scenario, if you could implement some of the 1 or 2 note yelps and break them up, even the volume of them, I like that. The second scenario, well, the flow, like Jason said, it's not that it's bad, it's just given the scenario, it's hard for us to judge it the way you guys are doing the scenarios. I mean, you guys have it tougher than we do, but it's hard for us to judge it too, because we're trying to get the picture the way you guys are presenting it, plus get all the calls in there. The flow was a little like gappy when you're going from one sound to the other. Fighting purrs, loved them. All the extras in there, it was pure turkey. But other than that, I mean, it was a great run. Good job, buddy.
Right on. Anybody you want to thank or sponsor, shout out?
Thank Diamond Hill, Mossy Oak. Thank the good Lord.
There you go, baby. That last one will be the most important. Good job, Shon. And just for the record, like we started out, these judges, they're tough, they're nitpicking. My man Jason Conrad right there, you heard him, you know, he's gonna be tough on what he hears. Matter of fact, quick story on Jason, me and Mark Scroggins showed up for the first ever intermediate Grand National Calling Contest. As a heavy favorite, thought we was gonna have a chance to win. Jason Conrad showed up from Arkansas and whooped us like a rednecked stepchild, took the trophy home. I ain't forgot that, Jason. I wanted to win so bad. Right now, let's get caller number 3 out on the stage. Judges, turn away from the stage. Caller number 3, take your time, but we're going to ask you for situation 1. As a reminder, that is a hen that wakes up on the limb, she flies down into a field and begins feeding.
When you're ready, we're going to ask you for situation 2, which is the scattered fall flock of juvenile birds that regroup in a field. 2 jakes begin fighting for dominance. All right. That was call number 3. Judge, y'all can turn around when you get ready. And there it was. Our current Grand National Champion come out here and gave one heck of a run. And I don't know if you noticed in between the 2 calling situations, Billy got to purring a little bit and lullabied me to sleep, man. I fell asleep in the turkey blind right there, man. Like, freaking. Oh, Jake out there purring on me. Now, one thing, judges, I want to make a comment, something I heard, especially in that second situation, that I didn't think the first 2 callers really addressed as much. In that second situation, it says juvenile turkeys, and I thought it sounded like you really got to the goo-goo and gagas of juvenile turkey talk, and that kiki and some of that was, did you purposely, I mean, obviously I feel like you did, but it sounded really juvenile and good the way you kind of hit that scenario on the head.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. I just hope those 5 guys right there think the same thing.
Well, Mr. Mark Perdome, he's the guy that's going to be calling it first. What did you hear, Mark?
First of all, I love the tree yelps. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I call that sleepy talk. I really like that. It was great. The fly down was good. The fly down was it was a slower fly down, which I'm fine, but it might maybe run together a little bit. I'd like to see a little more separation. The second scenario, love those keys, and I like the way that you kind of portrayed a flock. You sounded like you were putting it all together. I mean, there was Jake yelps, hen yelps, pretty keys. I mean, everything was really good. I really liked it. Everything was good.
What'd you think, Matt?
Still kind of speechless, actually. I love listening to that stuff. It was incredible to me, the tree call, how you were in and out of it. I mean, I was just there, you know, and it felt like next month. Excuse me, next month. I personally love the cackle. I like when somebody lets it hang out. I like it, you know, when you didn't hold it back, you let it rip, and I love that. I mean, I think I always tell guys, you know, when you listen to it, you gotta have those favorite hens you hear, and that's a hen that I hear a lot when I'm out there. I mean, I can't say anything else about the scenario one. It was awesome. I mean, knocked it out of the park. I'm gonna go over to 2, and I really don't have any negatives. I have a real big positive. When you started out there, like Michael pointed out, but what you really did, you mixed that flock. You had a hen whistling and you had a Jake whistling, and I thought that was cool. That stuck out to me big time, because that's what you hear out there. I mean, those young poults. I mean, good job.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, Billy, anything you want to say back and shout out to the crowd right there?
Thank you guys for judging. I really appreciate it. Past callers is what we're looking for.
Right on. Well, thank you for representing the Grand Nationals and the National Turkey Federation so good. One of the finest gentlemen you'll know. Humble guy, Mr. Billy Yargus. Impressive so far. Also, thank you guys so much for being patient and quiet. If you need to leave, anybody want to leave, do it now and kind of get out.